Hey guys and gals, been thinking, I do a lot of that nowadays, but I've been thinking about what actually does our school system teach our children. And if you really think about it as a parent and where we were back when we went to school, the things that are being taught to our children really don't amount to anything. We have children that are graduating school that cannot read or write, and they're earning a diploma. We have taken out home ec. We have taken out a lot of classes that these children need. Basic learning skills, how to balance a checkbook, basic living skills that these kids are going to need. They have become so in tuned with trying to worry about gender roles and if she's a he and he's a she and whatever. That has no place in our schools. None. A child should be able to go to school, get a good education, come home, and be able to still function. These kids are going to school to drama, to bullying, a lot of bullying coming from staff. And it's just not okay. Just like these books. Well, just like Chromebooks. I posted on my page about the cost of Chromebooks. Literally, you can buy a Chromebook at Walmart for $45. $45 and you got a Chromebook. The schools are charging $20 to $25 technology fee every year for these Chromebooks. So we as parents are basically buying these Chromebooks because the schools don't pay $40 for a Chromebook, okay? They got a federal grant that paid for these Chromebooks. And then plus two, we have a budget. So with that being said, and I know a lot of parents have come on here and said, well, a lot of kids don't return their Chromebooks. I get it. But a Chromebook's literally $40. Literally $40. It's the cheapest way to educate our children. Plus, we're paying for it. On top of what taxes, on top of paying their salaries. Now, mind you, our current superintendent makes $209,000 a year, while most of our teachers don't even make $40,000. We have kids that have special needs, that have learning disabilities, that have auditorial issues, that have hearing problems, that can't even get the special education tools that they need inside the classroom. I have asked multiple times why we don't bring textbooks back. A lot of students do not learn via a screen. They don't. And you have a lot of teachers that don't know how to teach. They're like, here's what you need to do. Click on this, click that, click this, click that, and they're done. They don't know how to genuinely teach children and keep their attention. If you think for 1 second that you think our kids are paying attention looking at a screen all day, you're sadly mistaken. I mean, a computer, what happens? Like when the tornado came through, phones went down, everything went down, blah, blah, blah. Even during COVID, okay, they relied solely on computers, but yet half of this county didn't even have internet. And our superintendent failed to bring a hotspot to the people that needed it in Upper Cleveland. There's a lot of things that are lacking thereof, and a lot of it's common sense. And a lot of you are going to be looking at me, well, why don't you do, why don't you go to a school board meeting? Well, I'm going to tell you right now why I don't go to a school board meeting. There have been people going to school board meetings for over 10 years trying to bring change. And a lot of these people that we have elected have been Republicans that have turned out to be not worth the Charmin they wiped their hind end with. Some of them have been Democrats. Look, I don't care if you're red, purple, liberal, whatever. If you don't have a moral compass, you have nowhere around children. And I have finally put 2 and 2 together. In all technicality, when we send our kids to school, we have no say-so anymore. We have a no say-so. Once our kids are in the care of the school, there's only certain people that can get your child out. And 2, the school system and the county and the government and law all want us as parents and our children to go to school, 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 go to school. They can't miss more than 7 to 10 days now, or you're going to truancy court. But in all technicality, what does that child learn going to school every day? I have fought, like, example, the first 9 weeks of this school year, I had an emergency meeting because my daughter, she struggles, okay? With she has a learning disability. Well, I kid you not, her English teacher looked at me and said, well, I didn't know she had a learning disability. And we were already halfway through the first 9 weeks. So these teachers, and I'm not trying to, teachers are great. But you know what you signed up for. And if you don't know the background of the children that you're teaching, especially when it's a learning disorder that has to deal with a child that is English, learning disorder, reading, and that just truly bothers me. But our moral compass anymore in this country has went down the shithole. It's all about money and who can pad in the pockets and who is saying the right things to my ears at the current moment in time. And that's sad. We need kids to be able to enjoy going to school, to be able to learn. I knew back when I was in school, if we didn't carry that dad blasted baby, that little baby that you had to carry, and it would cry all night long. I mean, we had to do that in order to move from 9th grade or 10th grade. I can't remember what grade it was. But that was part of our home economics class. A lot of these kids do not have the basic knowledge to get out of school and be able to be successful. We have come complacent with a lot of things. And as a mom and as a parent, I'm not perfect by no means, shape, nor form. No, I am not. But there's so many things that if you would take money out of this scenario, we would have so much more. Like back when we had field days in elementary school and middle school, had field days. That was getting that ribbon, like bringing back the core elements of what it is to go to school, have fun, be able to learn a trade, be able to, do. And yes, textbooks are expensive, but at least we as parents have a tangible item that we don't have to spend hours on a computer flipping through to see what is being taught in the classroom. You have a tangible item where you can look at the instruction of what's being taught. Books are vital. What's going to happen if Lord forbid, the internet goes down or, computers go down? Some of these kids don't even know how to write good enough to write a letter anymore because they're so reliant on a computer. I just, as I dig more into all of the shenanigans and all of, what's going on and, asking the hard questions. That's just like when, this past week, there was a band concert. Not hardly any of our school board members showed up. But they sure enjoy that paycheck and all them health benefits. They sure do enjoy that. And, coming on and, being open and talking about these things I'm trying to get you, the parent, to wake up. Because in all true reality, your kid could honestly learn more at home or going to work with you or being able to do more at home, sometimes it's more beneficial. Sometimes I can ask my daughter, what'd you learn today? Nothing? Really? Or they're reading a book that makes no sense. And I don't know, I'm very passionate about, our kids. Our kids are our future. And it just seems to me that the government is more worried, not worried about what our kids, the knowledge base. They're more worried about money. Money, money, money. Every time you turn around, it's the kid owes this, or the kid owes that, or this is money. Just like going on field trips, these expensive field trips. Why? It's a field trip that happens every school year. Why can't we get fundraising to pay for this so the kids, if you make good grades, if you don't misbehave, if you do this, and if you get good attendance and you're making your grades, that you get to go on this field trip? Why should it be about money? We as taxpayers pay so much money. We are taxed, and in today's times, people are robbing Peter to pay Paul. A cart of groceries is $500. People can't afford to live. All the while, our school system that gets federal grant money, gets taxes, gets this, gets that, constantly wants us to fork out more money. Well, I'm sorry. We need to start saying enough's enough. Where is all this money going? A superintendent shouldn't be making $209,000 a year. I'm sorry. That's absurd. It's absurd. You hardly ever see his face unless it's a football game or something that he's interested in, or it's in a city of Shelby. And you can't get straight answers. You get generic answers when you send an email to ask a question. They don't take what we say or our questions. They don't take them literally. They think we're a joke as parents. They think we're a joke. I'm just begging y'all as parents and as, taxpayers to wake up, because school shouldn't cost this much. It shouldn't. Shouldn't cost this much at all. Just like, if you go to another country, for example, I encourage you to look this up. Like, you go to Starbucks here and you get a cappuccino, a frappuccino, whatever, it's $7. I encourage you to go look up what it costs in Egypt and Dubai and other countries. You literally can get the same things for pennies on the dollar. Our government and our elected officials are doing everything that they can to rain down on the American people. And I don't say that lightly. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I highly encourage you to educate yourself on, what is actually happening. Because at the end of the day, we need the ability to take care of ourselves. And people in positions of power need to know that they work for the taxpayers. They work for the tax-paying citizen. They're not the ones that make the rules. They're not the ones that can just do as they please, and that's what's happened. Over the course of the years, they have gotten us to be like clockwork, where they can just do whatever they want, and we be okay with it. And I'm the type of person that I'm sorry, no. That's a big no for me. If you're a part of this community and you hold a position of power, you should be visible. You should be seen. You should be out here shaking people's hands. Hey, how was your child do today? Or how are you doing? What is your concern for this county? But you can never find them. They're hiding behind a desk and a door. And you got to talk to you got to talk to, shoot, that's also what I was going to say. You got to talk to their secretary in order to get anywhere. So, guys, I just highly encourage you, do your research. And if you can find a Chromebook for $40 at Walmart, just imagine what our schools are buying them for. And remember, we're being charged $20 to $25 for a tech fee. Why? So, do your homework, guys and gals. I love y'all folks. And remember, you matter no matter what. Peace out.